Why contentment feels rare now. Contentment is one of those feelings that doesn't disappear loudly. It fades quietly. It becomes a background absence rather than an obvious pain. Life seems fine on the surface. Things work. You wake up, go to work, eat, rest, talk to people, sleep. Bills get paid, there's food on the table. There are moments of laughter, moments of comfort, moments where nothing is technically wrong. And yet, that deep, calm sense of, this is enough, feels strangely out of reach. Not impossible, just distant, like something you vaguely remember but can't quite touch anymore. It's not constant unhappiness. That's what makes it confusing. There are good days. There are enjoyable moments. There are things to be grateful for. But beneath it all, the baseline feels restless. The mind rarely settles. There's a constant sense that something else is needed. Something more, something different, something just slightly out of reach. Contentment, real contentment, feels rare, almost outdated, like a concept from another era, spoken about by older generations or found in old books, but rarely felt in daily life now. You notice it in the small cycles of desire. You buy something new, clothes, a device, a subscription, something you convinced yourself would improve life. At first, it feels satisfying. There's a sense of progress, of reward. But soon, it blends into the background. It becomes normal. The excitement fades and the old restlessness quietly returns. Not disappointment, just neutrality. The feeling of, this didn't change anything. The same happens with experiences. You plan a weekend, a holiday, a break from routine. You look forward to it for days or weeks. It arrives, it's pleasant, sometimes even great. But when it ends, something feels unfinished. There's no lasting calm, no sense that life is fuller now. Monday comes and the internal state is almost exactly the same as before. Work follows the same pattern. You finish a project, you hit a goal, you receive praise or a raise. There is satisfaction, briefly, but the mind doesn't rest in it. It immediately moves forward. What's next? What else needs fixing? What higher standard now applies? The achievement doesn't soften daily life. It doesn't bring peace. It simply resets the expectations. Even relationships are affected. You have people you care about, you spend time together, you laugh, talk, share moments. Yet the quiet contentment of simply being with someone without distraction, without needing more, without imagining alternatives, feels fragile. The mind drifts. Comparison slips in. Thoughts about what's missing or what could be better quietly interrupt the moment. This isn't about greed or entitlement. Many people who feel this way are thoughtful, grounded, and genuinely grateful. They know life could be worse. They understand their privileges. They don't expect luxury or excess. And yet, contentment still feels elusive. Gratitude exists intellectually, but peace doesn't fully follow. The restlessness hums beneath everything, low but constant. This didn't happen by chance. The modern environment is designed for dissatisfaction. From the moment you wake up, attention is pulled toward what's missing. Phones show carefully curated lives that seem better, happier, more successful. Ads quietly suggest that comfort and peace are one purchase away. Feeds highlight upgrades, improvements, transformations. News emphasizes problems, risks, and threats. Work culture focuses on growth, optimization, and constant progress. In this environment, enough is never allowed to settle. The bar keeps moving. Satisfaction is temporary by design. The mind is trained to scan for the next thing to fix, buy, improve, or escape into. Contentment requires acceptance of what is, but the world trains the opposite, perpetual dissatisfaction disguised as motivation. True contentment requires space. Space to notice what is already here. Space to appreciate without comparison. Space for gratitude to sink deeper than thought and turn into calm. Space for the nervous system to relax instead of staying alert. But space has become rare. Attention is fragmented, silence is uncomfortable, stillness feels unproductive. Every quiet moment is quickly filled with noise, content, or planning. The mind stays busy not because it wants to, but because it's been trained to avoid stopping. This is why contentment feels rare now, not because life is worse, but because the conditions that allow contentment to grow have been slowly removed. The space for enough has been filled with more. The pause has been replaced with pressure. Many people sense this and try to fix it externally. More productivity systems, more minimalism, more gratitude practices, more apps, routines, techniques, and advice. But tools alone can't undo conditioning if the environment remains unchanged. You can't force contentment into a crowded, noisy mind. Lasting contentment doesn't come from denying desire or pretending everything is perfect. It comes from space. Space to feel without immediately reacting. Space to let good things land. Space to stop scanning for improvement and simply remain. Relearning contentment begins with discomfort. The urge to check, to compare, to plan, to buy appears quickly. This urge isn't greed or weakness, it's conditioning. It's the nervous system searching for stimulation because it doesn't remember how to rest. If you stay anyway, something subtle shifts. The mind slows, comparison loses intensity, the constant evaluation softens, appreciation deepens naturally without effort, contentment returns quietly, not as a high, but as steadiness. The baseline lifts. Contentment feels rare now because it was trained to be rare, but training can be reversed. Habits can loosen, space can return. Contentment is not gone. It has been crowded out, compared away, chased into silence, and it waits patiently for the simplest thing we stopped offering: space. One moment without the next desire, one day without comparison, one breath fully with what is. That is where contentment begins to feel possible again.